We both froze for a couple seconds and locked eyes. She closed that curtain as fast as she opened it and apologized about 100 times on her way out of the bathroom. What was the most porno situation you've ever had? What's up, my brother? Thanks for coming to another storytime by Alien Radio. Can you do your boy Andrew a favor and hit the like button? Thanks, man. If you did, I'll go ahead and send you some Jewel Mango pods. Anyway, let's get into the stories. My coworker came to my office and said, "Come with me." She starts leading me down to the basement where there's never any other people. Turns out she just needed me to carry something heavy. My freshman year of college, a girl was going door to door in the dorms, offering to give head for someone to do her chemistry homework. Never been so upset I didn't pay attention in high school, chem. When my sister's French exchange student came to the UK to stay with us after she left university to help improve her English. One night after a few too many drinks, she came into the bathroom while I was having a shower, and everything went way better than expected. I lost my virginity working at a bar because my boss said to me, "Would you duck that girl over there?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." And he said, "You're cut, punch out and take her home." To which I had to really wonder if he was ducking with me. But no, he was not. Delivered pizza to a hotel where a drunken orgy was going on. Customer gestured to me, 19-year-old nerd girl, mousy and unattractive, then to the scene, which included a guy snorting coke off a stripper's back, and asked, "Wanna play?" Turned him down because I was more concerned about paying rent. Also turned down his tip offer of a baggie of cocaine. He tipped me $50, though, so that was cool. First sexual encounter was while camping out with two girls on New Year's Eve in a situation framed by a very basic and immature premise that ended in, "Well, you could just have sex with us instead." The real kicker, I lost my virginity like 7 years later. The night was hours of foreplay, oral and groping, but we refrained from actual sex as we didn't have protection. Sex with female roommate. We had just started season 1 of Doctor Who. She found it boring and legit said, "This is boring, wanna duck?" Also prior to this, she would walk around in thongs and bend over in front of me while doing laundry, and plenty of other random acts of accidentally doing stuff like this occurred. Do not crap where you eat ended up ruining everything a year later. As cool as it was, ruined our friendship and mutual friendships as well. I was a cable guy. I didn't install at an apartment that turned out to be a porn studio. They were interviewing a girl for a potential job, asking what sort of scenes she'd be open to doing. As I recall, she was into lesbian stuff and interracial, but not anal. Nothing happened, but in my mind I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is how most 1980s porn scenes start. I received my first blowjob by a nurse in a hospital restroom. She's now my wife. Edit. Wow, didn't expect this to blow up. So more details for those asking. I wasn't a patient, I was a housekeeper on midnights. She was getting off her shift and knew I was alone cleaning the surgery suites. She came and found me. I took her back to the staff restroom, a nice one with a shower. In the locker rooms, we made out, and the rest is history. Back when I delivered pizza, I was greeted at the door by a woman wearing the skimpiest of clothing, nearly completely see-through. I think she noticed that I was looking at her nipples, and she mentioned her and her husband were swingers. Asked me to come inside, but my anxious ass declined, so she just took off her top and gave me some cash. My mom hired a guy to build us a deck, and I saw him looking at me through my upstairs window on the first day. He was super hot and Russian, and the idea of us being alone and him working while I brought him drinks and snacks, already knowing what was gonna go down. Me being an 18-year-old, was already sold into the idea of screwing this contractor. We ducked on the last day of installation. He was a good lay, but the deck turned out like crap. I had a pest control guy come into my condo without really knocking when I was about 20 years old. I had just gotten out of the shower, so I was in only a bathrobe. I also had just done laundry, so all my delicates like bras, panties and lacy lingerie were hanging around to dry. I have no idea what that poor guy was thinking I was trying to do, but I swear I just didn't realize he was coming. The carpenter renovating my room thought I was gay. I'm a straight guy. We were alone in the house. I finished taking a shower and was only in my towel, and I innocuously analyzed his shirtless torso in all its glory, wondering what routine is he doing in the gym. Maybe I was staring too hard. He then approached me and tried to make out with me. I pushed him and laughed and said no. He said he thought I wanted to have sex with him with all the stares I was giving him. Lesson learned. To be more aware how I'm staring at people. A while back was doing some physical therapy and walking back and forth in some parallel bars. It was me, male, my therapist, female, and a trainee who was shadowing her for a few weeks, male. She needed to check that my glutes were properly activating as I walked, and he needed the experience to know what to look for. So I was slowly walking back and forth while they shuffled along behind me, a hand on each of my ass cheeks. The situation was normal professional enough until another therapist, female, walked into the room and sort of froze in surprise, trying not to laugh. It was hard to deny the ridiculousness of it after that. This above-average looking girl in high school took a shower in our boys' cottage during a survival trip in the Ardennes. They wouldn't return to the girls' cottages for a few hours, and she was dirty from spelunking. We chatted while she was showering. I had my back turned because I am a good boy. She turns off the water and a few moments later she says, "You can turn around now, there's nothing interesting to see anymore." I turned around, and she was completely naked. I was completely awestruck and spoke the legendary words, "Nothing to see there indeed," and proceeded to pack my sandwiches for the next day. I probably ruined her self-confidence for a few years with 5 words, but I was completely confuzzled and not romantically interested in her. Makes me kinda sad when I think back about it now. Years ago, my parents were not really happy with my sister after she came out as gay, so she wasn't invited to Thanksgiving. To support her, I went to her gay orphans' Thanksgiving with her friends instead of my parents. While there, I met this woman who I got along with really well, but I figured she was, well, a lesbian. Later, we were washing the dishes, and she says, "I think we're the only 2 straight people here." I go, "I think so." She says, "I think that means we have to duck." We did. A high school friend's parents were out of town for the weekend, so I was sleeping over at his house. He goes to bed early, but I'm not tired, so I'm downstairs watching TV. His sister, about a year younger, comes in and sits on the other side of the couch. I forget what movie we're watching, but there was a fashion show, and all the models came out wearing nothing. Sister asks, "Do guys get hard watching stuff like this?" I wasn't but started when she asked. I was still not exactly a confident high schooler, but she was cute and I felt relaxed around her, so I said something like, "Sometimes. Depends." "Why? Do you get wet?" She giggled but didn't say anything for a moment. Then she looked over me and asked if I was hard. I was a little scared that my friend would hear her walk in, but I knew he was upstairs and I was a horny teen. So I said, "Yeah. Want to see?" She did. I showed her. Got a BJ. Ate her out. Good movie. One that I still kick myself for. I work as a gardener, so I'm halfway there already, but at one of my former sites, there was an older woman who lived there. She was in her late 40s, early 50s, but had aged like a fine wine, great body, lovely face and an attractive personality that made you feel easy around her. She'd jokingly flirt all of the time too, which to then 21-year-old me had me real hot under the collars. One day I was using some rope for a job when she asked if I could help her move something heavy in her apartment. Me being the guy I am, agreed, so I went into her apartment with the rope still in hand. Moved the stuff for her and she took notice of my rope, crossed her wrists over and said, "Oh, is that for me, sir?" Or something like that, whilst giving me now what I know as the look. I chuckled but left the apartment, where I immediately realized that I had an opportunity to playfully ramp up the flirting and see where it went. I was young and inexperienced, but in hindsight she all but handed me a condom, and I used it as a balloon to float away instead. I used to work at a restaurant, and a colleague of mine slipped, spilling all the drinks over me as I was trying to catch her. Since my boss lived above the restaurant, he offered me to take a shower upstairs to clean myself up. I gladly accepted. However, this was never communicated to his wife. So she thought her husband was in the shower and decided to surprise him. So she snuck into the bathroom, it didn't have a lock, got naked and pulled the shower curtains open in one quick motion while striking a pose. To her surprise, it wasn't her husband that was showering, it was me. I also happened to be facing the shower curtain as she pulled it open. We both froze for a couple seconds and locked eyes. She closed that curtain as fast as she opened it and apologized about 100 times on her way out of the bathroom. I just started laughing when she had left and fully realized what had just happened. I finished my shower, went back downstairs and told my boss what happened. He bursted out laughing and asked if I liked what I saw. I answered with a yes, got a pat on the back, and just went back to work. Me and my boss's wife never talked about it, but my boss would sometimes tease his wife with it when only us three were present. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.